Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for today's video. So this is going to be a little catch up of everything I've got up to over the past week. So I have got two new makes that I really want to share with you. Spoiler alert, I'm wearing one of them. And I'd love to catch you up on where I'm at with my knitting, and then I've also got some plans for the coming week. So if that's something that interests you, then please stay tuned. So I hope you've all had a good week. It's been a good week here in the French Seams household. The sun has come out and it has just been magnificent. It really, really has. It's been warm, it's been sunny, it's just been glorious, and everybody is in such good humour because of it, myself included. I am most definitely solar powered, and because of the rain and the dreary weather we've been having for the most part of this year, it has just been so welcome to see a little bit of sunshine. It's been magnificent. So I'm hoping it's here to stay, fingers crossed. So yes, it's been a very, very good week. So shall we talk about what I've been sewing? So I've had a very, very lovely week because I have had a few nights this week where I've got to talk to some lovely sewing people while I've been sewing, which has just been wonderful. So thank you, ladies. So one of the things I got made up this week is my new Donny shirt. And I did mention it last week that I really wanted to get this beautiful fabric made up into a Donny shirt. So this fabric is from Bornella Fabrics, and I picked this up at Stitch Festival very, very recently. It is just beautiful and it was so lovely to work with. So I was very, very happy as well in cutting this out because I just bought 1 metre, and usually with a Donny and 1 metre I can just about squeeze it out of the fabric because it's usually quite narrow fabric, but this I think was dressmaking width, so it was no hassle at all to get a Donny shirt out of 1 metre. Usually I'm scrounging at the end and trying to cut the inside yoke on in 2 pieces or piecing it together, but this was no hassle at all. It was marvellous. So this is the Friday Pattern Company Donny, and I think this is probably Donny at least 4 for me. I think I just love this pattern. I think I make a size 4 grading, sorry, not a size 4. I have 4 Donnies. I think I make a size medium grading to a large, and then I remove 2 inches from the sleeves, and I think I add about 2 or 3 inches to the length because it does come up very, very short. So it's got a beautiful collar here and lovely, you can see the stitching here, which is very, very nice, sewing the placket down on the inside. It's got a lovely burrito yoke, so everything is all nicely enclosed. On the back yoke as well, that's where I put my label. So it's got a beautiful gathered yoke at the back, and I just had to put in this fantastic label. It says pressed to perfection, and this is an Adam Sews label that he did in conjunction with the lovely Rachel from Cozy Club Handmade in our advent calendar last year. So this was so much fun to make, absolutely love making it. Instructions, everything all perfect. On a Donny shirt I don't actually interface anything, so they do sometimes ask you to interface the collar and things like that, but I think as a relaxed nice kind of spring summer shirt I just don't interface anything, which makes it a little bit quicker as well. The only other alteration I made was I raised this little section here by I think 1 inch, which makes it, I'm a little bit more comfortable wearing that. Otherwise I do have to wear a little tank top, cami top underneath it, because I think that does come down a bit low, but that's the only other alteration I made. So love my Donny shirt, and I'll pop in a few pictures of me wearing it here with my wonderful Helen's Closet Arden pants, which I just got out because the weather has turned, and I just love this combo. I think it's so perfect for this time of the year. So that was the first thing I got made up. The second thing I got made up is what I'm wearing, and I'm so happy with this. This was a little bit of pattern hacking for me, and I'm so delighted because it was a kind of a high risk strategy really, but I'm delighted with the result. So this fabric is the most beautiful French terry in this lovely heart print from the wonderful ladies Bex and Adele at the Fabric Obsession that I picked up a few months ago. I knew I really wanted to make a sweatshirt out of this beautiful fabric. I bought 1.5 meters, and I was thinking, will I just make a billy? Then I was thinking, no, I'd have to get matching cuffing, matching ribbing, all that good stuff. Then I was thinking of doing a toaster because I had seen a toaster hack on the lovely Karen Marie's YouTube where it's the funnel neck and you put in a 1/4 zip. But then in talking to my wonderful friend Sam, So Let's Sparkle, she said, well, why don't you use the LB pullover? So I was thinking, that's genius because that doesn't have any cuffs or hemband, so I wouldn't be breaking up the print at all. The only thing it has is the lovely funnel neck. So I dug out that pattern because I had made one a number of years ago and I got to work. So I thought about this an awful lot about how to put in the 1/4 zip, and then I was kind of remembering how I'd done a 1/4 zip in other patterns, and then I looked at the Ellie and Mac, I think it's the Arctic pullover pattern that I'd made for Mr. French Seams a couple of years ago, and that does have a 1/4 zip. So between everything, I was able to kind of piece it together. So basically, I cut out every pattern piece as is, no alterations. Then I sewed the front bodice and the back bodice together at the shoulder seams. And then I marked where the center of the front bodice was and drew a little line down there to where I wanted the zip to stop. Then I interfaced that, just a little kind of rectangle strip. Then I put on the collar, but only put on, say, one long side, and I left a little overlap in the middle of 1 centimetre, because that's the seam allowance of the LB. So basically this side came out by 1 centimetre this way, and this side came out 1 centimetre that way, so I'd have enough to then fold that under when I put the zip on. I then interfaced these little bits here as well to give it a little bit more stability. So then once I had done that, I was very, very brave, and I drew a centre line, and I drew my stitching line down the side, and I cut 2 little lines, and basically I made almost a kind of a welt, and I cut into the fabric, terrified that this wouldn't work out. So then once you cut down into the fabric, you can then lay your zip in, and then line your zip all the way up. And then I tucked in, because this is actually a continuous zip that I got from the little sewing tray, I think it's a really pink zip. I then tucked in the end of the zip on both sides, and then I was able to fold back over the top of the collar to enclose the zip, and then tuck that under. And then I was able to do a bit of binding, which I love doing. So all the inside here is bound all the way along the inside of the zip, and then I bound all the way along the neckline as well, and just tucked in that bit in here, so it looks super, super neat on the inside. From where you're sitting, don't look too close. So it's all nice and neat on the inside, and I have a lovely little star zip pull here, which I think is Purple Stitches, I think, that I got the Stitch Festival as well. So yes, absolutely delighted. There was a bit of measuring, and then to see where this seam lined up, and to see did the zip line up at the top, and an awful lot of unpicking and redoing and everything, but I think it worked out in the end. I was also very, very grateful to my past self when I bought matching thread, which usually I don't. I just wing it and find whatever I have in my cupboards. But I did actually buy matching thread, which covers a multitude here as well. So I'm very, very happy with how it came out. So that's my little binding stitch marker here, and the lovely binding. This binding is the Specky Seamstress, but it was, again, part of the Adam Sews collaboration from our advent calendar, and I think it's really, really pretty. I put in a label as I find it, and of course it had to be imperfectly perfect, because it is not perfect. It was my little trial and error, but I am delighted with how it came out. So it's a lovely boxy fit. I think I made a medium grade into a large, I think, and I added 1 inch to the sleeve length, and I added 1 inch to the bodice length, and it's absolutely perfect. And then with the collar, I love wearing it down like this. You can see my little flamingos peeking out, but then it's a huge big collar as well, so you can tuck it up like this, and it's lovely and cozy as well. So I think this would be perfect for Valentine's Day in February, but also for the summer as well. So it really, really came out just like I wanted it to. So again, I'll pop in some pictures of it here, but delighted. And yes, quite nerve-wracking cutting into fabric like that, but I'm very delighted it did work out. So I'm very, very happy with my quarter zip hack of the LB pullover. So delighted with that. So shall I tell you what I'm getting up to this week before I give you an update on my knitting? So I've got a little project cut out for this evening, but I'll be able to tell you more about why I'm sewing this evening next week, I think, so stay tuned. So if you remember, I made the Adam Sews label keeper late last year, I think, and I absolutely love it, absolutely love it. But it's bursting at the seams. I am now having to double, if not triple, stack my labels. So I knew I needed a new insert. So I've just put in one here, but it does have room for another either side, which is fantastic. So your label stash can grow with you. So I really wanted to cut out a new insert, and that's what I managed to do this week. So I knew I had some Tula fabric in this beautiful, I think, is it fairy dust, pixie dust? Adam will correct me, that I made a dress out of a couple of years ago. So I've got this all quilted and trimmed down, so that's going to be the insert. The inside of this in this beautiful fabric as well, and I did have some of that left over, which is great. So I've cut out all my binding, which is great, so that'll all match. So I've got loads and loads of binding, and then I've got my little middle panels as well, and all the binding for all the way on the outside. And then I found some vinyl. So I didn't think I had any vinyl left, and I didn't have any clear, but I do have glitter. So if I put this against that, I think it might work better, be able to see the glitter. So this is what it's going to look like. Beautiful glittery vinyl, which is just lovely. So this is all cut out in strips. So my top tip with vinyl is to use a hairdryer. So if you do have a little strip that's a little bit wibbly wobbly, get a little heat on it from your hairdryer, and then when it's nice and pliable, put it into a book and just close it and leave it for an hour, whatever, until it cools fully, and it comes out perfectly flat. I think it's a great little hack. So that is going to be the insert on my label keeper, and that's what I'm going to be going on with this week. So other plans, May is coming and Me Made May. Yes, I'm gearing myself up for Me Made May. I love that challenge. I love the challenge to myself to wear my Me Made clothes and things that I haven't reached for, or wear things in a different way, things like that. I love it. So stay tuned. I'll be doing a daily Instagram picture of what I'm wearing. And then I'll probably do what I did last year as well and do a kind of weekly roundup on YouTube to show you what I've been wearing as well. May is also a bumper month because we've got So Skin Summer, hosted by the very lovely Lucy, so I'll be doing the vlogger tour for that. We've also got So Frugal, which is now in May. I'm on the vlogger tour for that. And then also there's a brand new challenge, and if you hop over to my wonderful friend Sam, So Let Sparkles channel, she put out a video of the So Phoenix crew, myself, Sam, and the very lovely Catherine from Silverton Makery, and we are taking part in a new challenge this year hosted by the very lovely Lisbeth from Lisbeth Makes, and it is called Blue Threads for ME, and the reveal date of that is going to be the 12th of May. So Sam has put up a video this week of myself, Sam and Catherine talking to you about our plans. That was really good fun, so stay tuned for that as well. So May is going to be a really bumper month, but it's super exciting. So that is all my sewing plans for the coming week. If you do not want to see the progress on my knitted jumper, then I will say goodbye now, and thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. However, if you would like to stay tuned for a little tiny knitting update, then let's do it. So it took me 2 weeks to knit most of this bodice, and it has taken me 1 week to knit about 4 stripes. So we've come to the bit which is a little bit trickier. So here is my stripe pipe sweater as is, with my beautiful little croissant stitch marker here to the front. So here we are, we've got our green stripes, our pink stripes, and our blue stripes, which is probably where I left you last week. And now we're on to the bottom hemband, and that is taking an awfully long time because it is twisted rib, and it gives a lovely finish, but it is obviously very time consuming because you're looping the yarn back and forth, and sometimes I go wrong and I do a plain purl plain where I should be doing a purl plain purl, and then you notice, and for a number of occasions I did try and fix it on the fly and stuff, which I can't really do. If it was a regular plain purl, I could of course pull the stitch back up with a crochet hook and try and fix it, but with the twisted rib I'm just not that confident how to do it. So on one occasion I did have to rip back about 6 rows to fix it and then do it again. Anyway, it's looking fine, just don't look too close, and I'm hoping that blocking will hide a multitude. So this is where I'm at now. I'm done. So I'm at about 3 inches, I think 3.5 inches. I need to get to 4 inches of this beautiful ribbing. So we're getting there, we really are, but it's a little bit more time consuming. It's on smaller needles, so I've moved to a 3 needle, whereas the bodice was done on a 4.5. So we're getting there, we are getting there, but it's looking really great. And after that I'm going to move on to the sleeves. So that is my little knitting update, and here she is. She's looking really pretty. And I was talking to my lovely friend Cindy last night, and we decided to go on the sleeves. I'm going to go grey for the top 3 stripes and sleeves, and then move to mustard for the bottom 3 stripes and sleeves. So that's where we're at. So hopefully next week I will have another stripe pipe update for you. So that is everything for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and as always, thank you to everybody who's watched any of my previous videos and left a like and a comment. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, and I do love having the chats with all you lovely people. If you like this video, I'd very much love it if you give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. If you want to leave me a comment on anything you've seen today, please feel free to do so in the comment box below. And I'm wishing you all a very happy week, a happy sewing or crafting or knitting week. I hope you're getting some beautiful weather where you are too, and I will catch you all again very soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.